Alright. Sorry guys, I was a little bit late today, but yes, we have the closing bells going soon. Let's get this playing, and then the investor call will start soon. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what is the closing? How are we going to close on the
We hear it
stock
over and
market
over
today?
from
Oh, God.
investors.
Oh,
I
God.
wish I.
Alright, let's see how we're going to close today, and then shortly we should get Tesla's numbers. Once we get Tesla's numbers, we'll see if they get included to the S&P 500. So their official earning call starts in an hour, but we'll get their investor relation numbers right at the closing bell. Let's see how the market closed today. The market closed today in the green. We got the S&P at about 0.6, the Dow at 0.62, and the Nasdaq at 0.24. Okay, should be close. So good news. We ended today on the green. So we'll see how Tesla does. Just constantly spamming. They beat earnings, so we'll get them included in the S&P 500. Let me know if I'm live. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Hello, Tan Electric, Duck, Tan Nguyen, and then Casey. Let me know if you guys can actually hear me and everything's going well, or the music's too loud. Let me know if the music's too loud, if I have to adjust anything. But if they get added to the S&P, dude, let's see how my net worth went up today. I'm actually kind of interested to see my net worth today. Let me hide some of my account information. So, about 3 weeks ago, I posted my net worth. It was at 700,000. Now we're at 750,000. And comparing my stock to the index so far, let's compare this year. So far, my whole portfolio made 10.29% year to date. The S&P 500 is finally in the positive 1.2%. And then the past 90 days, I crushed the S&P 500 by 26%, while the S&P went up close to 17%. So that's good. Net worth went up about $51,000 in about 3 weeks. So that's pretty good. All right, so we're waiting for Tesla's earnings. Once we get those earnings report, man, S&P 500, here we come, baby. Here we come. How did everyone's portfolio did today in chat, guys? Come on, Tesla. What is the estimates? Actually, let's go Robinhood and check what the estimates for the S&P 500 for Tesla is. So Tesla S&P 500, I mean for their earnings. Let me know the music and the audio is fine. If the music's too loud. Okay, so Tesla's expected is negative, so they didn't expect Tesla to make a profit today. So if Tesla makes 1 cent profit, they are eligible for the S&P 500. So that'll be interesting to see if they do it. They just have to post a profit of 1. Okay, and then let's check how all the other spec stocks did with all the other EVs. So if you guys don't know, I'm actually been looking at these 3 stocks right here. It's called SQM and Albemarle and Peter Lithium. They're all lithium ion mining companies. And since there's so many battery companies that needs it, Ford, GM, Volkswagen, you got SPAC, Electronica America, Blink, Neo, Ario, Shell. Nikola needs it. So and then Workhorse needs it. So they all mine lithium, and they're the 3 main lithium mining companies. So they're probably going to be backed up, since most companies are battery constrained. Since they're so battery constrained that they're like desperate to get as much lithium as possible, even though there's abundant resources, you can only mine so much of it. So I've been making a play on these 3 companies if you're interested in going to that sector. And I think it's a safer sector than betting on what's the next big EV. Okay, SPAC is down 4% today. Electronica America, like how you say Mechania is almost 5%. Blink is up 14%. AO is down. Tesla is only up 1%. Tortoise Acquisition Shell is down about 2%. Luckin Coffee, Neil's down today. Nikola's getting spanked, man. Workhorse is up. Okay, so what we can do is keep our eye on Tesla, and once we see if the after hours trading here jumps up or down, we'll know if Tesla made a profit. My entire portfolio was up except Lithium America LAC. Okay. Can you guys hear the music, or is it kind of low? All right, come on, Tesla. Tesla as a. You can do it. I'm kind of curious if you guys are in chat. When did you guys come across my channel? How did you guys come across my channel, by the way? Come on, Tesla. Post your earnings, Tesla. Alright, let's skip this music. I don't like it. That music sounds too calm for me. Okay, let's check out the playlist. Okay, there we go. So we're still waiting on Tesla's earnings. Come on, Tesla. Waiting to hear Tesla earnings. Your anxiety is calling you. Look at this. Look at this GIF right here. Waiting to hear a verdict on Tesla earning. Your anxiety is calling you. Okay, everyone's waiting on Tesla. Gotta play Don't Doubt Your Vibe, yeah. So anyways, yeah, I gotta convince my wife, hey, I can't spend the first day with you, or first majority of the day with you on your birthday since it's Nikola's earning, and I need to make fun of Trevor Milton, since that's the only thing that brings me joy in life is mocking Trevor Milton. So I have to hear his earnings call, even though he's not the CEO. We might not even hear him in the earnings call. We might hear from the actual CEO, Alex something, and don't know anything about him. No one knows anything about the CEO of Nikola, dude. Suggestion: deep dive into which lithium mining stocks make sense to own. Well, right now, if you're interested in lithium-ion mining company, an interesting one. Wait, is that green screen not covering right there? There we go. All right, fix my green screen. Well, the number one lithium-ion mining company right now, I think, is ALB. North Carolina, or the one in Chile. Now that one's messed up. The one in Chile. Those are the two big mining ones. If you're interested in investing lithium ion, they pay a 1.7 dividend yield, and currently they're up 17% in the past year. The past 5 years, they're up 65%. Past month, 15%. It's only going to go up since everyone is desperate for lithium. I also have some in SQM, and the past 5 years up 113%. Past years down 5, so they pay a 2.4% dividend. And this one is more, I would say, PPL is more of a risky one. It's a younger one. Some people speculated that, yeah, see, you can see it's very risky. It's down 40% past 5 years. Some people might have thought that Tesla might buy them and just own a lithium mining company. All right. So far, no news from Tesla, but the stock is up 0.2. Is it safe to invest in NEO after we seen China consulate got shut down in the US and other trade war issues? Anytime you invest in Chinese stock, I say is more risky than American stocks, since they don't really have to disclose as much as a US one, and they don't have to get vetted as the U.S. one. The Senate passed a bill. I don't know. The House of Congress passed a bill where China companies has to be more transparent in their earnings and being vetted. And the current president Trump said the same thing. He wants more transparency. So we'll see. It's risky, but I don't think NIO is backed by Tencent, and Tencent's one of the biggest Chinese companies. So I don't think Tencent will let them commit fraud like Lukton. And then you have a new company that's competing against NIO. Another electric company. It's called. I just made a video on it. I literally just made a video on this company. What is it called? The company is called Peng, Xpeng. So Xpeng is a company that's backed by Alibaba, which is an Amazon China, and it's by the richest man in China, Jack Ma, I think. So it's kind of like having Jeff Bezos try and get into EV market for China. And they just raised $500 million in capital, and they're gonna be listed on New York Stock Exchange in the future. So that'd be another Chinese company against NIO, another Chinese company against Tesla in the China market. So that'd be an interesting one to watch as well. Anyways, guys, I appreciate all of you that smashed the like button, and anyone here is brand new, welcome. So let's go ahead and see what Tesla, any news. This is cool watch. Tesla change the world. Energy, transport, SAS feature. Did Elon Musk say anything, or Trevor Milton? Skip that song. Okay, let's see what Mr. Musk says. Elon Musk says he's just doing memes. All right, no updates from Elon. He's just more about memes right now. Let's see, Trevor. Let's see what Trevor says today. Okay, board approved me to be able to borrow up to 16% of my 91 million shares to buy shares in Nikola. I will not sell shares. I have to wait to do it legally timing-wise, but filing shows a locked-up change and how confident I am in the company. So he's 16% of 91 million. So he gets to buy, what is that like? What's 61% 91 million? Is that like 15 to 20 million shares? About 10 to 15 million shares that he gets to buy, and he's gonna hold it. It doesn't count because he already dumped over $70 million worth of shares. So it's just like buying back slowly. Factory groundbreaking July 23rd in Coolidge, up to 35 semis K in the year. Factory, unfortunately, government restrict 10 people due to the virus and filming it. Post OSC. Someone says, why don't you stream it live? There's no cell phone, so they can't do it live. The thing is, every time Trevor Milton records stuff on his phone, he holds it vertically, which means you get the worst visual image of what he shows you. On top of that, he keeps saying, we're going to show you professionally well-edited footage and release it to you. And he never has done that every time he says that. So that's a one to look for. Okay, guys. Nikola, Tesla's going down $7 after hours, 0.46%. People are buying and selling. Buying and selling. Okay, webcam. All right, come on, Tesla, share it. Share it. I'm kind of curious, guys. Tell me in chat, what stocks are you guys invested in? Let me know if any of you guys are invested in Spartan Energy, Electronica Americania, and Aero. Let me know if anyone's invested in those three stocks. Those are the three most risky stocks, in my opinion, to invest in. Okay. What's up, Element, how you guys doing? Did you guys smash the like button already? RKRNMCZ. Let's see. Come on, Tesla. Tesla. And look, Tesla's up 4.3%. Oh, do we get news? Tesla did it? Tesla up 6%? Tesla is going up, guys. Did they do it? Tesla up 6%. Why is Tesla up 6%? Holy crap, Tesla's up 6%. What's going on? Did they do it? Did he do it? Dude, Tesla went up like 7%. They went up like 7%. There's no news. What happened? What just happened? Why did it jump set like 5%? And now it's going back down. What's going on? What? You guys need some dramatic music? Alright, we'll do some dramatic music. And Tesla's up 4%. We don't know what's going on with Tesla right now. Alright. So I don't know what's going on with Tesla. It just jumped up like 7% for no reason. Boom. What's going on with Tesla? Wait, is this right? Tesla Q2 50C versus loss 2.3. What does that mean? EPS. Wait, what? Did it not do it? People are Tesla 4%, can't see numbers. What's going on? There's no numbers. Wait, here we go. There it is. Quarter. Tesla, quarter 2. EPS, 50C versus loss. Shares 2.3 year over year. Did that mean they beat it? 50 cents? Did they do it? Wait, did they do it? They got 50 cents? Holy crap, did they do it? She's verified. Who is she? New York Bloomberg reporter converts. Okay. There is profitable. There is profitable. Tesla did it. They're in the S&P 500. They're profitable. They did it. They did it. They did it. Tesla is in the S&P 500. God. Yeah. They did it. They did it, guys. Tesla did it, dude. Oh my God, Tesla did it. They did it. I knew it. I knew it. Did you guys buy the short shorts, dude? Did you guys buy the short shorts? Did you guys buy the Tesla short shorts, dude? Alright. So one of my position in Tesla, I bought 5 back in February at $900 a share. I'm up 77%. Now I also bought more. I had Tesla around $200 back then, and then I sold it at $900, which I feel stupid about now, but I wasn't as bullish on Tesla as I am now. So I did buy, I have about 17 stocks in Tesla, and I'm up about 118%. My cost basis for Tesla is around here. So I bought Tesla at $509, $509, and then I bought more at $1,200 after they did their vehicle deliveries. When they beat their vehicle deliveries estimate in June, I was like, holy crap, they're probably going to get in the S&P 500. So I just bought more shares of Tesla there. But damn, dude, I'm so happy with Tesla. My net worth would probably bump up to $770,000 by tomorrow. We'll see. Probably $760,000 by tomorrow. Dude, they did it, dude. Holy crap! Did you? Hey guys, smash that like button for Tesla's earnings, dude. They did it. They did it. Tesla beat it. Okay, so we're gonna hear the official call where we get to hear Elon Musk talk in about an hour and 7 minutes. So an hour 7 minutes. So here, let's look at Yahoo Finance. We can see what Yahoo Finance says.
An increase in regulatory credit revenue, deferred revenue recognition because of a full self-driving release. But they did have some costs related to shutdowns. But again, I think all coming out on the positive end for Tesla, calling out its cash and equivalents at the end of the quarter, $8.6 billion. And that is up from around $8 billion in the first quarter of this year. It's also up from around $5 billion in this same quarter last year. So we've now seen Tesla 4 of the last 5 quarters, I should say, reporting positive free cash flow. Again, we knew the vehicle deliveries. We had talked to some analysts who expected that there was probably an embedded beat within these results based on that. And indeed, it has come through for the company here.
Hey guys, I went straight to the net income line and they made it $129 million in net income for the quarter. So there it is, 4 sequential quarters of profitability that qualifies them for entry into the S&P 500, which I think has been part of the big run up in the stock. So now, if they make it, ETFs will have to buy the stock and there's more demand right there. I guess part of the story here is probably Tesla's performance in China, because we know they were shut down for part of the quarter here in the United States, but they did ramp up.
So you heard it live. They are now going to be added to S&P 500 if they decide to. If S&P, so mainly China saved Tesla because they fixed the virus issue.
Their profit margins on those models are higher than the cars sold here because labor costs are lower in China. So that's helping them out a lot. But, Toyota, for all the skeptics here, Tesla might be converting a few of those skeptics.
And you know what, Rick? The stock is flying after hours up, almost 3% or $43 to $1,635. Oh, man, I can't buy that. Well, remember, the stock, almost hit 1,800, right? So it's cheap now. It's down. It's down from its high. The other point to make, Rick, is just hang on one sec, is that a guy was talking about the stock quadrupling. Oh, my God, that's ridiculous. Well, it has a market cap of, almost 300 billion now. So then it will be a $1.2 trillion market cap, which would put it in the same league as the FANG. So go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're not seeing the new market cap number. So it'll be over 300 billion in market cap once, if the rise in the stock price holds tomorrow. I looked up Toyota's market cap today, which is probably why I have Toyota on the brain, $180 billion for Toyota. So Tesla exceeds Toyota's market cap by more than $120 billion at this point. Toyota has 10% global market share. 1 out of every 10 cars in the world is a Toyota, and Tesla's market share is probably below 0.1%. But everybody who's buying the stock thinks this is not about car companies. This is about Tesla being a new kind of software company that also happens to build cars. I still don't think that's the case, but I'm out on a thin ledge here at this point.
This guy all been doubter Tesla, man.
There. But again, I mean, these numbers are just, it's astounding when you take a look at
Always been doubter Tesla, man.
Over 270% so far for the year. Ahead of these results, we're seeing the stock move to the upside once again here after hours, with shares up just around 3%. We initially saw a pop of around 4.5%, but again, a very solid quarter here for the company. Tesla reporting its 4th quarter in a row of profitability. Like Rick was saying, that was one of the things I should say that investors were closely watching because of the fact that it qualifies it for inclusion in the S&P 500. And then, of course, positive free cash flow of $418 million, estimated was for a loss of $617 million. And the fact that it's still targeting 500,000 deliveries this year. So again, on the surface at least, it looks like a very solid quarter here for Tesla, and shares moving to the upside once again. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have a broader...
All right, how did Microsoft do? All right, so Tesla Oh, hang on. My agent's calling me. 1 second. Hey, John. Sorry about that, guys. So I had my agent call me, and we found a lease applicant for my house that I bought in Texas, and she happens to work at Facebook, so that's awesome. So, how many of you guys watched my house, my real estate investment video? Where my wife and I went to Texas, and we bought a real estate. A house in Texas, and then we flipped it. We actually did a small renovation flip of about $15,000, and then we rented out. So the house been sitting on the market for a week. No, actually it went on the market 3 days ago, Friday. So since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, what's today? Tuesday, now Wednesday. So it was on the market for 6 days, and now we found tenant. We just have to sign the lease, and then I'll get an ROI about 12% on return on investment after a year or two. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so Tesla is now profitable. We found that out. The stock is now trading up 7%, so it's now at $1,700. Now, the stock price could possibly jump up to 2,300 based on one analyst prediction. He says anyone who owns Tesla shares, since Elon Musk is not going to sell and a couple other people are not going to sell, and a lot of regular shareholders like you and me are not going to sell, they expect that the stock price could jump up to $2,300. And Elon Musk replied to that analyst, says, wow. W-O-W. No, it's not. When I say I flipped it, I mean like we renovated it. We renovated the house. We actually made it look presentable because the house looked like trash. If you watch that video, the house was badly bad. It was the windows were shot out with a BB gun. The roof had holes in it. So we had to replace the roof and a lot of stuff. So we had to change those, and the garage door. You know, when you use the garage, the doors go up. It caved in and buckled in on itself, so that was another $1,000 expense. And then we had to paint up the kitchen, the bathrooms. There was dog smells on it, so we had to get professional cleaners to get the dog smell out. And then the garage was, in those, cheap garage where it's like cardboard looking, just drywall with white lines every other foot. I had to spray paint all that white, so it was $15,000, and then we were able to rent it. The previous rent for the property was $1,500, and we put $15,000 in. Now we rent it for $200 than what the previous owner had rented out. So it's a $200 extra per month income. Yeah, Melanie saw it. The house looked really nice. All right, so oh wait, where's my timer? Where's my Tesla timer? So the Tesla timer, this is when you get to hear Elon Musk talks about the quarter, and that's where we actually get to see the future. We might hear stuff about Cybertruck. We might hear about Giga Texas. If we hear about Giga Texas, then my house appreciate probably 5 to 10%. If Tesla comes to Texas and builds a Gigafactory in Texas, my house already got 5% return on investment just because of that news, and that was one thing. I wasn't banking on it, but I was hoping that it was coming, so that'll be good. Tesla comes to Austin, which there's a high chance since they got approved for $56 million tax incentive write-off, and it's a lot closer to SpaceX, and it's close to the airport, so Elon Musk can jump from the airport and then fly to SpaceX and make it easier and gets that transition, because a lot of SpaceX rockets use a lot of Tesla parts, and a lot of Tesla parts use SpaceX stuff. They have a lot of materials that they use, so it's easier to transport. So I was really banking on Austin for a good return on investment on appreciation. Yeah, David, I think the reason why I got shot out with the BB gun is because it's COVID. Everyone was stuck in their homes and they had nothing to do. So someone was bored, and the house sat there vacant for like 3 months. So that house just sat there. So I think someone was bored and started shooting it out. But it hasn't been shot out again. Okay, so Tesla is past 1700, which is great. kind of curious, how many of you guys are brand new to this channel? How many of you guys are brand new? And when you guys subscribe, does the subscribe go off? Does the subscribe notification go off? Let's go ahead and read what Tesla says. Okay, let's go look at this. Here, we have their update here. What we're gonna do is move Twitter over here. I'm gonna move this here. Okay, so let's actually break down these numbers. Q2 update. Odd music going on right here. I don't know if I like it. Okay, let's see. So Tesla, let me make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay, Tesla cash 535 million increase to our cash and cash equivalent to 8.6 billion. Operating cash flow less capex, free cash flow 418 million Q2. Okay. Profitability 327 million GAAP operating income, 5.4% operating margin in Q2, 104 million is GAAP net income, 451 million non-GAAP income in Q2, 4 quarters of subsequent profitability. So that's right there. Hey, look, it did work. The subscribe worked. Thank you. Okay, so we got the subscribe work. So that means in Q2, 4 quarters of sequential profitability. So Tesla did it. They're gonna now eligible for the S&P 500. The next Gigafactory site selected. Preparation underway. Increase the Model S range to 402 EPA. Model Y in China Model 3 production rates continue to increase. Guys, Tesla finally selected the next Gigafactory. And please let it be Giga Texas. Please let it be Giga Texas. Oh, I'm begging them to be Giga Texas. Anyways, if they don't get it in Texas, let's say they get Texas, hopefully, they could do Giga Oklahoma a couple years down the line. Okay. Our business has shown great strong resilience during the unprecedented times. Despite the closure of our main factory in Fremont for nearly half the quarter, we posted fourth central GAAP profit in Q2 2020 while generating positive free cash flow of $418 million. Our profit includes subsequently due to fundamental operation improvement. Additionally, we experienced costs associated with factory shutdowns, which was offset by actions taken during the quarter to reduce expenses. For the trailing 12 months, our GAAP operating margin is nearly 5%. We expect operating margins to continue to grow over time, ultimately reaching industry-leading levels. Great. Okay. We believe the progress we made first half this year has been positioned as success second half of 2020. Production output of our existing facilities continue to improve to meet demand, and we are adding more capacity. Later this year, we're building 3 factories on 3 continents simultaneously. Dude, they're building 3 factories, 3 continents. Okay, so we know there is Giga Berlin, right? Next one, we think it's Giga Texas. So where's this 3rd Giga factory? Guys, where's this 3rd factory? We'll build 3 factories on 3 continents simultaneously. Asia? Could it be no in China? China, Berlin, Texas? China, Berlin, Texas? That's incredible. Okay. While we invest in our product roadmap, improve the technology, and localize production, we continue to drive cost-efficient across businesses and close to manage capital. It's important to manage our cash diligently in order to ensure we are ready for any scenario. So they're saying they have to kind of make smart with the cash. I hope they raise more capital. The S&P 500 might ask Tesla, hey, there's not enough Tesla shares. Would you be open to sell 2% more of your equity in your company to raise more capital, and so we can have more shares available market for these fund managers to add you to S&P 500 index? So Tesla could raise a lot of money, billions. We're talking about billions of dollars. They could have 5 to 6 factories going or invest in other things. Tesla can be very smart and use a lot extra money if they decide to raise capital, and it alleviates fund managers for buying more Tesla shares S&P 500. They should only do that if they know how to use that money correctly. Giga Canada, South Korea, Giga India. Oh my gosh, they're building a Giga India. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys hitting that like button and brand new subscribers that are showing up. Thank you. So this is my first time live streaming. Does someone mind if they have $1 to spare? If you guys have $1 to spare, can you see if the super chat works on my live stream? And let me know if you tried, if it works. Because I never used live streaming on this page before. Even though I'm a professional live streamer on Facebook, I never live stream on this channel before on YouTube. So I think I have Super Chat enabled, but if I don't have Super Chat enabled, can someone just see if $1 would work on the stream? I appreciate if you guys have that to spare. All right, so let's see how many vehicles they sold on Model S, Model X, Model Y, and Model 3. Giga Mars. Elon Musk would live his entire life in Giga Mars. Okay, quarter 1 automobile revenues, quarter 3. So quarter 2 automotive revenues. Okay, they actually beat quarter 1. That's incredible. How the heck did Tesla do better in quarter 2 compared to quarter 1 when they were shut down for half of the quarter due to the virus? Okay, automobile gross profit. How did they make more money being shut down for half of the quarter compared to quarter 1? Marcos! There we go. Okay, so that $1 worked. Okay, Marcos Villegas, thank you for that $1 donation. Thank you for making sure the super chat works. I appreciate you spending that $1, and I appreciate you, Marcos. Thank you. So super chat does work on this stream. Okay, total revenue. Dude, guys, how does Tesla make more money in quarter 2 when their factory was shut down for over a month and a half? They were shut down for 90 days. No, 60 days. About 60 days, a month and a half. Or actually, no, what, 60 days? 50 days? About 50 days? About 45 days? And they make more money than quarter 1? Oh, Gamantan. Gamanchi. Thank you for the $1, and Detorian, thank you for the $2. And guess what? You know how Tesla did those shorty shorts? You know, the short shorts? I posted it here. I posted on my Twitter here. These short shorts, this doesn't count for quarter 2. He posted this on sale after quarter 2. So this money will go to quarter 3. So all that money that he sold out on his short shorts is now going to quarter 3. Which is incredible. Gonna help his quarter 3. Dude, maybe Elon Musk was just using loot box and it was doing well for him. He loot boxed his way to profitability. Okay, adjusted EBITDA. Holy crap, dude. Okay, here we go. Net loss. So you can see they lost a lot. Wait, how did they only lose 16 in GAAP in quarter 1? This is actually not bad. The 104 is not bad compared to quarter 4 2019. Net loss. Oh, here we go. Here, this is huge number. Net loss in Tribute common stock. Okay, so this is where the shutdown actually hurt them. EPS 0.5. Dude, that's crazy. Okay, you know how it's 0.5, like 50 cents profitability? The street and analysts and expert, people who are being paid so much in their field to analyze Tesla, expected Tesla to get negative 11 cents. Tesla beat that by 60 cents, dude. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. It shows you how Tesla has so much demand pent up for it that they could have like shutdowns for months and people still can afford to buy their cars. People thought it's like, oh no, we're in a pandemic. Everyone has no money. Tesla's not going to make any sales. There's so much demand and people have made so much money in bull market for the past 11 to probably 12 years. I think we're still in a bull market since the Fed is keeping the market alive. So there's so much pent up demand that that they're fine. Like Ford, all these traditional ICE cars, there's not pent up demand. You just buy whatever's on the lot, and so you know those will suffer. Okay, so let's see their net cash. Okay, let's read their revenue. In Q2, revenues remain negatively flat QQQ or QOQ. Positive impact, higher vehicle deliveries, higher regulatory credit revenue, higher energy generation and storage revenue, and what somewhat offset by lower vehicle selling price and lower service revenues. Profitability. What's the stock price at right now? Oh no, it went down. It was set 1700, now it's down. Why are you guys selling out? Guys, why would people sell out if fund managers needs to buy 26 million shares to add to the S&P 500 index? You don't sell. You sell after they add the stock, the index. That's just foolish. Our operating improved in Q2 despite challenging circumstances. Positive impacts include lower operating costs due to temporary reduction in employee compensation, a substantial increase in regulatory credit, deferred revenues, recognition of $48 million of full self-driving future release. So they made $48 million selling the full self-driving feature. They made it $1,000 cheaper near the end of the quarter. So they were trying to encourage people to buy more, upgrade or buy more full self-driving. So I think that definitely helped. These positive contributions were offset by significant costs related to factory shutdowns, as well as essential increase on non-cash SBC expense, primarily attributed $101 million to 2018 CEO Awards milestone. While ASP declined substantially, improvement in the product and manufacturing costs driven by Model Y and China Model 3 and improved aftermarket software connected to revenue made positive impact profitability. So they're basically saying that China Model Y and Model 3 saved their butts. On top of that, aftermarket software. So basically people who are upgrading their software to full self-driving. I don't know. The history of companies added to the S&P 500 could be within a couple days, couple weeks, or months, or the next quarter. And technically, we are in quarter 3 now, since quarter 1 ended in June 2020. So we are in quarter 3 of 2020 right now. Okay, so here is the interesting numbers that we care about. So their Model S and X delivery in quarter 2 was 6,326. Well, their quarter 1 was 15, their quarter 4 was 17. Okay, so they didn't do too well in the S and X production. And their 3 and Y production is down too. Well, they're down because the factory shut down, but that number, they did better with that number compared to quarter 2 2019 and quarter 3 of 2019. But not as good as quarter 4 2019. And I think most of this number is better because of Shanghai. I don't think Shanghai factory was producing cars in quarter 2 2019. I think they around here quarter 3 was when I think Shanghai became active. So their total production was $82,000 vehicles, and that's pretty good. Their main factory in Fremont was shut down for half of the quarter, and yet they were able to produce 82,000 vehicles, which is only about 20,000 less than quarter 1 and quarter 4. That's incredible. So that means they had to almost double or triple the amount of cars it could produce in half amount of time in a quarter. That's incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, John, we're talking about the numbers right now. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys smashing the likes, and any of those who subscribed, welcome. How many of you guys are brand new? And what country are you guys from? Tell me what country you guys from. Okay, so let's talk about deliveries. Model S and 3 deliveries. This is not too bad drop off in quarter 1. The S and X deliveries is 2,000 less. But you can see that the S and the X is just not popular anymore. People aren't buying as much. I mean, I'm really worried about them, but they increased the 400 miles range for the S, so we'll see. The Model 3 and Y deliveries was 80,000. We already knew about this. The total deliveries was 90, which, how did they deliver more vehicles in quarter 2 than quarter 1? Guys, hey, what's up, Sophie? How you doing? Can you guys tell me how Tesla was shut down for half of the quarter, was able to deliver more vehicles in quarter 2 than quarter 1? That's insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, end of year vehicle count. Solar. Okay, their solar is down pretty bad. This is not good. Their solar is pretty down. Storage deployed. Okay. Storage fleet. Supercharger stations. They gained about 6% superchargers. Year over year, they're up 28%. So their superchargers are up. Stations is up 28%. And this quarter, it's up 6%. So there's over 2,000 superchargers for people to charge their vehicles. Okay. And the supercharger connectors, they got another 6%. So overall, year over year, they're up 30% on their supercharger related things. In production at 3 and S. Fremont. Shanghai. I really want to know when the Shanghai facility is going to start producing Model Y. I think that's when we see Tesla take off. When you see Shanghai Model Y construction, when it actually comes out, I think it's going to be double the amount of numbers Model 3. Because their Model Y is going to be a newer facility that they're adding on. And there's going to be more demand, and they might shift their focus on Model Y. So maybe this is a good thing to watch out here is the Shanghai Model Y. The Berlin Model 3 is in development, and okay, new US facility. So this is an unannounced facility. Tesla is probably going to announce now. It's going to be Model Y and Cybertruck, and we're going to expect that going to be Giga, Texas. Either Giga, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Austin, Texas. Now, if they do Austin, Texas, my house just appreciated 5 to 10%. United States in development. Roadster and Semi. That might be in Nevada. Giga, Nevada. That'd be interesting. So they have 2 unannounced. Well, actually, it says new facility in US, and it's just a United States, but it doesn't say where. Thank you for subscribing, Vivian. So, are they going to make an announcement of this? If so, I think the Semi and the Roadster might be developed in Nevada, in Las Vegas, or their battery facility is. So we can see that there. So this could be Giga, Nevada, Giga, Texas, or Austin, and then Berlin. So those are the 3 continents there. Okay, let's talk about Fremont. Although Model Y production in line was operating for about 4 months in the first half of 2020 due to shutdown, we exited Q2 with Model Y production running at installed capacity. The ramp was significantly faster than our initial Model 3 ramp. Yeah, actually Tesla almost went bankrupt from Model 3. The reason is because they were trying to automate everything, and they tried to reduce humans or people to produce cars. And the thing is, the machine had so much issues in figuring out how to put the car together, and that caused huge delays for Model 3, and they're burning cash. That's when Elon Musk was sleeping on the couch. People were sleeping in the office crying, people passing out on the production line because they were exhausted. And Elon Musk says Tesla almost went bankrupt within less than 5 weeks, and they couldn't deliver. Hey, thank you, Brian, for subscribing. Then get those Model 3s out. So you can show how the Model Y and Tesla learned that they need people and got their facilities operating a lot more smoother, that they didn't have to run into Model 3 issues. okay, which took over 9 months, reached the same weekly rate. We are installing additional machinery in Fremont, which is expected to increase the total Model 3 and Model Y capacity from 400,000 to 500,000 units per year. So they increased their production for their Fremont factory by 100,000 more cars. So that's where Elon might have got his figures saying they're going to make. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, it's live. It's live. Guys, they went half an hour early. They're half an hour early. But it's copyright music. I can't play it. It's copyright music. How am I gonna know? How am I gonna know? How am I gonna know? Oh god, it's copyright music. Don't shut down my stream. Okay, so they're just starting live stream early for the webcast for earnings call. I don't think it's actually gonna be. It's not gonna start because they're not gonna start half an hour earlier their scheduled date. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Okay, Shanghai. Shanghai, their Model 3 has received a strong reception in China, not only becoming the best-selling EV, but also competing with the mid-size premium sedans such as the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class. This is not surprising given the Model 3 lower price point, even before subsidies and vehicle tax. So they're saying they're being their BMW 3 and the Mercedes just because they're cheaper. It's the cheaper car. On top of that, this is not including the government tax incentive that you can make the car even cheaper. So that's great news. Reduce operating costs, industry leading standard equipment, construction Model Y lines. Factory is progressing as planned. First delivery expected in 2021. I'm going to hope it's going to be Q1 of 2021. If they can do Q1 2021, that's great. That's absolutely great. Okay. Okay, Berlin and Bradensburg. In Germany, one of our biggest European markets, Gigafactory Berlin construction continues to progress. As we build new factories, we continue to iterate the factories and the production designs to improve efficiency, cost, and technology. We are implementing further structural improvement based on our learnings from prior factories. So they're gonna improve upon what they learned in Giga Shanghai. And the thing is, Giga Shanghai was one of the most efficient, well-produced factories ever happened. So them being even more efficient and better in Berlin is incredible. And what they learned from Berlin is what they can actually make even better in their new facility, probably in Austin, Texas, or Oklahoma for their Cybertruck and Model Y productions. And maybe even Tesla semis and the Roadster. So Model 3 install factories here. Okay. What's this graph here? Global vehicle deliveries first half of 2020 year over year. Okay, you can see Tesla is up 10% year over year. Hyundai is down negative 20%. Mercedes cars down 20%. Toyota is down about 22%. BMW is down 22%. Volkswagen's down 25%. Ford is down 28%. Nissan is down 31%. Renault is down 33%, and PSA is down about 35%. And Nikola is down 100% because they have nothing and they have no vehicles. So if I'm just gonna write this in, Nikola down all the way down here, which is negative 0% because they are not producing anything. Sorry, just have to say it the way I see it. That's the truth. All right, autopilot, full self-driving. No, the earnings call is not over. It's starting in 27 minutes. The timer's right there. All right, so autopilot and full self-driving. Our traffic light and stop sign recognition system is becoming more robust as we continue to collect more data from our customers driving through intersection. As our Q2, our full self-driving cars will enter, stop at intersection, or drive through without driver confirmation when deemed safe to do so. Ultimately, the necessity for confirmation will be withdrawn completely. Someone tweeted Elon Musk, when are you going to have full self-driving from street? Elon Musk says, hopefully by the end of 2020. We'll see. Full self-driving, I don't think it's gonna happen for probably not to 2021. It's just that they're like 99% of the way there for a full automated driving. It's just that one. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for subscribing. That one last percent is so hard because you can't. It's so hard to calculate for human error of other drivers. A machine can do its best, but you can't really do your best against other bad drivers or something that's a stationary target. For some reason, full self driving is having a hard time to distinguish stationary targets, like how we saw that Model 3 run into that big flipped over truck. But we'll see. All right, vehicle software has been hard. It's been more than 8 years since we delivered the first Model S. During that time, we have regularly updated software to each of our over 1 million vehicles. Every week, we reveal feedback from blogs, social media aggregators, and other functionality customers would like to see next. Over-the-air updates as part of the Tesla strategy in the beginning. The functionality continues to produce. For example, Q2, enabling interior camera, enable repeater cameras when parking, and improve interface. So if you guys didn't hear, so Sophie, you've been subscribed for a while. I appreciate you. You didn't hear. You can. Jason, thanks for subscribing. Tesla increase now allows you to use the dashboard webcam for collision. So you know how you see those vehicle videos where you get in accidents and then it kind of shows the driver whose fault is the accident. Now it shows the cabin where it shows a person driving. It's an opt-in feature. If you're a Tesla owner, it's not automatic. You have to opt in, which is good for privacy reasons. But it helps Tesla collect data to make the car safer. And it shows how humans react getting hit by another car or running to an object. So Tesla has camera everywhere, so they can get hit from every single corner and sees how people in the car actually reacts to collisions, so they know how to make the car safer. And it also helps with the insurance. If it's not your fault, you can show it on the other driver's fault to cover your Tesla repairs since they're super expensive. Okay. So battery and powertrain. So this is where we get the Tesla semis right here. Batteries and powertrain. We know from our customers that all range is important to attribute those looking to switch from their combustion engine vehicles to an EV. Our efforts to make maximum range are not slowing down. In July 2020, we announced an update Model S with EPA range of 402 miles, making the first production EV in history to break the 400 miles threshold. Trevor Milton says electric vehicles are garbage beyond 300 miles. That's when you need hydrogen. Right here, it says Model S EPA tested range of 402 miles, making first ever EV in history to break the 400 mile threshold. Why do I need a hydrogen car if my car can now do 400 miles, which is most gas tanks these days? Most regular sedans, gas tank is at least 400 miles or up to 400 miles or beyond that. So it's closer within range. But yeah. Anyways, guys, we're almost done through this. I appreciate it. Hey, if you guys have a free $1 or $2 to spare, you guys have $1 or $2, you guys can check out the super chat, see if it's working. It's my first live stream on doing an earnings call. If you're interested in me doing an earnings call for Nikola, which is on August 3rd, for Neo, which is sometime I think in September, and as well as Workhorse. I'm going to do all 3 live streams of the earnings and break down the numbers. You guys are interested in that? I appreciate you guys hitting the like button, subscribing, and send a comment that you would like to see that stream. And you have $1 or $2 to spare, feel free to send it through super chat. I appreciate your love and support. Okay, so the Model S long range is 400 miles, where you got the Porsche Taycan at 4S at 200 miles. The Model X long range is 350. Model Y all-wheel drive is 320. The Jaguar I-Pace is about less than 250. It's about 240 or 230. The Mercedes EQC is at 225, and the Audi e-tron is barely above 200. Okay, so let's check out the energy business here. Guys, 20 more minutes before the earnings call. Let me just make sure they're not talking early. It's probably music. I bet use music. Yep, I called it. It's music. It's still music. They haven't started yet. They're not going to start early. Hey, Steven, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Energy business. Let's go ahead and talk about this auto bidder. You guys don't know what auto bidder is? Auto bidder is a program that Tesla engineer came up with for Australia. Australia has an energy crisis, and Tesla made the biggest battery facility in Australia to make energy cheaper or electricity cheaper. So what they did was they created this program called Auto Bidder, meaning they know when to buy and sell energy at the highest price. So you can buy energy low and sell it high, and that generates a lot of revenue. So this gets, if they start becoming like energy storage facilities in the United States or around the world, this is so much more money that you could do. Keep doing earnings call for us, holding at 550K. Can't see super chat area, just the main chat. Oh yeah? Oh, if you're having trouble with super chat, so let me move my webcam. So if you do want to just, want to send some love and support, super chat is next to the comment section, and you see this right here. You click on the little dollar sign right here, and chat should be on your phone, and you can do super stickers or super chat, and you can send $1 to $2 if you want to support me that way. I'm just showing you because you asked me how to do super chat. It's right there in the chat. It's the dollar sign right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this. So although recently launched and still ramping, Megapacks generated a profit for the first time in Q2. Storage development increased subsequently to 409 MWh, driven increased Powerwall and Megapack. Auto Builder real-time energy trading platform is designed to maximize energy revenue from our utility-scale batteries. Continue to be an important part of our storage strategy. We recently launched this platform in Europe and started trading the European Power Exchange in addition to the US and Australia. Very good. You're talking very great. Thank you. Yeah, I honestly think the auto bidder is a game changer. People don't know it. The way that electricity company does now, they can generate electricity, but they don't really have a chance to store it. They don't really have the battery store it. So it's kind of like they're charging you based on the peak hours and times on what they can generate. What Tesla does is that they have batteries that stores energy that can buy and sell discharge energy, and they just use a program that determines when they can buy low and sell high, and that's how they make a lot of money, what these others electric companies can't do. So people don't know that this could be huge revenue for Tesla if they decide to go in this direction. And they acquired a battery recycle facilities. So any EV cars batteries are dying or depreciating, they can take those batteries and just use it in their battery storage facilities to make more money. They can use depreciated batteries that way. So that's very awesome. People don't know about this. I'm surprised analysts don't see the potential how much money this can make. But anyways, Angel Investor, thank you for the $1 donation in Super Chat. I appreciate you for donating that $1. Okay, solar. Recently, we made a home retrofit solar even more affordable in the US while also offering an increased efficiency panel. At $1.50 per watt, the average Tesla solar system is now 1/3 less expensive than the industry. The average consumer buying a large system in California will likely offset the system cost with reduced electricity bill in approximately 6 years. So what Tesla is saying is the average consumer who buys a Tesla solar roof, you would start making money after 6 years investing on electricity bills. And if auto bidder gets applied to these battery packs in your garage from their solar, you can sell that energy back to the company. So that's pretty cool. And auto bidder will do it automatically, giving you the best rates to sell your energy at the highest price to the electricity company. We also introduced the lowest cost guarantee money back guarantee. Our new pricing is made possible by several. Sophie, thank you for the £3. Can we get hashtag Sophie Gis in chat for donating $3 in the chat? I appreciate you, Sophie, and Angel Investor for that donation. Please hashtag their name in chat for me to show appreciation. Thank you. Okay. Our new pricing made possible several improvements such as moving recommendations. Standard sized customers can order one click online and reduction of consumer acquisition costs through automation process. Solar roof installation roughly tripled Q2 to Q1. We continue to expand. Okay, so here's the before incentive and with federal tax. So you can see it costs you about $6,000, $7,000 with federal tax incentives if you get a solar roof. Medium is 12,000, large and extra large. Okay. Outlook. So this is the future of Tesla, where they're predicting stuff to be in the future. Thank you guys so much for doing that hashtag. Thank you guys so much for showing love and support to donators. Okay. Introduction. Although we have successfully ramped up vehicles production back to prior level, it remains difficult to predict whether there will be any further operation interruption on or how the global sentiment evolve in the second half of 2020. We'll continue to update our outlook necessary. So basically, Tesla is saying they're now updating their guidance because though their factory is running back to normal before the pandemic and shutdown, they don't know if they have to shut down again, how this pandemic's going to play out, if their co-workers or their employees get infected, if they have to shut down their facilities, if they have a mass outbreak in the facilities. So that's very scary news, but they'll keep us updated. And let's just hope we get a vaccine soon and that they don't get sick. Tesla released a huge pamphlet on safety precautions of all employees to try not infect each other or go into work. So hopefully that solves the issues. And guess what? And even though Tesla has like over 100 cases in Fremont facility or Alameda facilities, of the percentage of people who are infected in Tesla facilities, it's a smaller percent of them being infected than the whole county. So Alameda County has a higher percentage infection rate than the Tesla employees who work in the county. So that's good news that Tesla is really taking care of the employees and safety around them. So that's a good thing. Will I analyze the earnings report? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually reading that earnings report. But thank you guys so much for the likes, the subscribes. I appreciate you guys. How many of you guys are brand new here, and what country are you guys watching from? Volume. We increased the installed exceed 500,000 vehicle deliveries this year. Despite recent production interruption, while achieving this goal became more difficult, delivering 500,000 in 2020 remains their target. In Q1 of 2020, Elon Musk says we expect to deliver well over 500,000 vehicles delivery. In Q2, when they were shut down for half the quarter, they outperformed analyst estimates in deliveries. They out-delivered the Q1 earnings in deliveries. They got profitable when analyst EPS estimated was 11 cents. Tesla got 50 cents positive. So that's 60 cents over analyst estimates. And even though their original target before the pandemic shut everything down was over 500 vehicle deliveries, they're saying even with their shutdown, they're still expecting to meet that goal. You have no idea how incredible and ambitious and amazing that is for any company, let alone Tesla, where analysts says Tesla's a small company, they're going to get crushed by Ford, GM, Volkswagen, Toyota. They are proving everyone wrong that they're strong and mighty for their size, and they have high demands. Why would you bet against that company who can send their CEO sends people to space automatically, astronauts to space automatically? The only times an astronaut decide to fly the spaceship is because they wanted to test out the manual controls. And they said it is one of the smoothest landings they ever experienced in the International Space Station, all done through Tesla's automation. And you got Trevor Milton, who says that he can outdo Elon Musk. It's crazy. San Francisco, Sophie's in the UK, Atlanta, factory in every country, San Francisco, Switzerland. Oh, that's nice. Anyone from Korea? Okay, cash flow. We have sufficient liquidity to fund our project and long-term expansion and other expenses. Profit. For the trailing 12 months, we achieved GAAP operating margin of just under 5%. We expect margin rate to continue to grow over time, ultimately reaching industry-leading levels with capacity expansion and localization plans underway. So, what they're Sacramento, Nate's from Sacramento, what they're expecting is that they are going to outperform the margins of all the big auto industries, which is incredible. We are tracking continue build capacity for Model Y, Giga Berlin, Giga Shanghai. We remain on track to deliveries these vehicles, both locations in 2021. The next U.S. Giga factory site been selected and preparations are underway. Tesla Semi deliveries will begin in 2021. We will continue significant invest in our product roadmap. All right, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So okay, guys, I have to ask you a question. Tesla says they are going to build. They already selected a place for their new Gigafactory. Do you think it's going to be Giga Oklahoma and Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Austin, Texas? Let me know in chat between those two. I wish I can create a poll. Can I create a poll? Can I do a live stream poll on this? Let me know if you guys think it's going to be in Texas or Oklahoma. Okay, now we just wait for Elon Musk to bless us with his information. Still music. Maybe I should listen to it on my phone and then put it when the actual meeting starts so I don't get copyright from music. Oh, dude, guys, reading that earnings report, killed my throat, guys. Do you want to know why this cup is white? Do you want to know why I'm drinking from an invisible cup? What am I drinking from right here? Like he's drinking from an invisible cup right now. The reason why is the cup is green. The cup is green. That's why I have an invisible cup. Magic. Magic. For my first trick of today, I am going to make this cup white. Visible. Anyways, guys, my throat and my chest hurts from reading that report. If you guys appreciate me going through that whole report, giving my opinions, I appreciate if you guys just like this video. And if you guys haven't subscribed, thank you for subscribing and turn on the notification bell. The great Elon Musk will bless us with his voice in 8 minutes. You can see the timer when the call starts. If you guys have $1 to $2 or $5 to spare, I appreciate you guys donating $1 to $2, $3 if you guys can. If you can, I appreciate it. In Super Chat, it's in the comments. It's that little dollar sign, that green dollar sign. You can click it. You can send it as a sticker or regular, and you can actually send it with a message, and it will play on stream for you. That cup is. All right, so we're gonna wait till Elon Musk bless us with his voice on this earnings call, and we'll hear from the CEO himself of what's going on with Tesla. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Listen to Elon Musk because I need a cup of. Hey, DK, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you. You need to be on full screen for dollars show up, yes. Okay, I'm gonna get more cup of coffee, but we'll be in 6 minutes to hear Elon Musk. I need to save my chest and my throat. I've been talking for too long. So enjoy some music, and then we'll hear Elon Musk speak shortly, guys. I'm gonna get some coffee. I'll be back. Everyone, take a little restroom break. Go to restroom pee. We might be in this for an hour. Listen to Elon Musk. Okay, guys, I'm here with my dog Foxy. Say hi, Foxy. Say hi, Foxy. Foxy, say hi to the internet. Foxy. Here, show them that you look like a fox. Ish. Oh, she's kind of scared right now. But also, she looks like a fox because her tail is black right here. She has a black tail right there. And she looks like a fox. Alright, she wants out. Alright. Go run, Fox. Go catch some mouse. All right, let's take a look at how my net worth did today from the stock market. Hey, did we get any super chat? Did we get any new super chat donations? No, okay. I didn't miss anything. So, in 3 weeks, I was able to improve my net worth from 700,000 to 751,000 through my stock investments. Thank you guys for the subscribe. Today, my portfolio gained 0.97%, and that beat the S&P. So I beat the S&P today by 0.4%. So about almost beat the S&P by 0.5%. Last 90 days, my portfolio beat the S&P 26% up on my portfolio. S&P was up 17%. So let's check year to date. I am up about 10.4% year to date. The S&P is up 1.4%. See what my biggest one-day change was. Planet 13, all these biggest price. Tesla, my biggest change today was Tesla at $400. I have $30,000 in Tesla. Tesla went up about 1.5%. The next one was Pfizer, since the government announced they are going to buy a bunch of vaccines from Pfizer once they come out. AMD, Lockheed. Oh, there's a timer. So the timer is up, but the earnings hasn't started yet, guys. Hang on, let me delete that window capture. Move that over here. See, Lockheed Martin up 5%, Carvana up 2%. Okay. So let's see how all the other spec stocks did. Spec stocks. So if you guys are interested, oh, hang on, it's starting. It's starting. Oh wait, no, this is standby. Okay, no, this is standby. Okay, they said standby. They said standby. All right, so the operator, when it calls, says, "Thank you for coming. Please stand by. We are still getting set up there. So not just yet. Let me get this pulled out in case we want to follow along." So if you guys are interested in lithium mining companies, these are companies that are mining lithium. Since you got what's it called? Hyliion needs lithium for their batteries. You got Nikola needs lithium for their batteries. Workhorse needs lithium. Tesla needs lithium. NIO needs lithium. XPeng needs lithium. Anything that needs a battery in the car needs lithium. So right now I'm looking into lithium stocks to buy, since right now the whole world is battery constrained. There's not enough batteries to produce the cars. We're done.
Q&A and webcast. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker presentation, there will be a question-and-answer session. To ask a question during the session, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. Please be advised that today's conference is being recorded. If you require any further assistance, please press star 0. I would now like to hand the conference over to your speaker, Mr. Martin Vieca, Senior Director of Investor Relations. Please go ahead, sir.
All right, it looks like he has to unmute his microphone. What's going on?
Thank you, Sherry, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tesla's second quarter 2020 Q&A webcast. I'm joined today by Elon Musk, Zachary Kirkhorn, and a number of other executives. Our Q2 results were announced at about 1:15 p.m. Pacific time in the update deck we published at the same link as this webcast. During this call, we will discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. These comments are based on our predictions and expectations as of today. Actual events and results could differ materially due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those mentioned in our most recent filings with the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourselves to one question and one follow-up. Please press star 1 now if you'd like to join the question queue. But before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the Tesla team for exceptional execution in the second quarter, despite tremendous difficulties. They've done an incredible job, and it's an honor to work with such a great team. I mean, there were so many challenges, too numerous to name, but they got it done, and just what a great group to work with. Like I said, it's just an honor to work with such a great team. And as a result, we were able to achieve our fourth consecutive profitable quarter. And although the automotive industry was down about 30% year over year in the first half of the year, we managed to grow deliveries in the first half of the year. So despite that massive industry decline, we actually went up. We're also very excited to announce that we're going to be building our next Gigafactory in Texas.
Yes!
It's going to be right near Austin. It's not it'll be about. I'll just go into a bit of detail on this, and then I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions. But the location is 5 minutes from Austin International Airport and 15 minutes from downtown Austin. And it's about 2,000 acres, and we're going to make it, I think, a factory that is going to be stunning. It's right on the Colorado River, so we're actually going to have a boardwalk where there'll be a hiking, biking trail. It's going to basically be an ecological paradise. Birds in the trees, butterflies, fish in the stream, and it'll be open to the public as well. So not closed and only Tesla. So if anyone's interested in working at Giga Texas, with engineering, production, whatever the case may be, please let us know. This is we're going to be doing a major factory there, and it's also where we'll be doing Cybertruck there, the Tesla Semi, and we'll be doing Model 3 and Y for the eastern half of North America. Now, at the same time, I want to say we will continue to grow in California, but we expect California to do Model S and X for worldwide consumption, and 3 and Y for the western half of North America. And then we think probably also the Tesla Roadster, a future program, would also make sense in California. So I think this is a nice split between Texas and California, and just to emphasize, we'll continue to grow in California, but we'll be creating a massive factory and Cybertruck and Semi programs in Texas. So, and I also want to just do a shout out to Tulsa, and just say thank you very much to the Tulsa team, the economic development team, and the governor. Really, I was super impressed. The whole Tesla team was super impressed, and we will for sure strongly consider Tulsa for future expansion of Tesla down the road. Let's see, is there anything more we want to say about? There's a lot of information, so anything else, guys? All right, well, I'm sure there'll be lots of questions. We've already started work on the facility, so some initial construction work, so it's already underway, started this weekend. Let's see, moving on to other subjects, solar. We recently adjusted the pricing of our retrofit solar. So Tesla Solar is the lowest cost solar in the United States, and we added a lowest cost guarantee and a money back guarantee. So we're very confident that people will love our solar product, whether it's the solar retrofit or solar roof. Our solar is now 30% cheaper than the US average. After the federal tax credit, Tesla Solar now costs $1.49 per watt. And it's a very simple, highly automated, single-click experience. So definitely think about Tesla, whether you want a new roof or Tesla Solar Roof, or you want solar on your existing roof. Either way, we're the company to go to. And then you can also get a power wall and have energy independence and be your own utility. So I think that product is really coming together, and it's only going to get better later this year. So it's just very excited about that business potential. On the additional technology stuff, we introduced the first production car with more than 400 miles range. So the current Tesla Model S now has an EPA certified range of 402 miles. I mean, you can drive from LA to San Francisco nonstop and still have some miles left over when you arrive. And this is at highway speeds, so you don't have to do anything, drive slowly or anything. You can just drive normally and go very, very long distances. And then for full self-driving, we launched traffic lights and stop signs, and we continue to improve that and make it more robust. And we're currently testing full self-driving software for intersections and city streets and narrow streets. So I personally test the latest alpha build of the full self-driving software when I drive my car, and it is really, I think, profoundly better than people realize. Yeah, really profoundly better. It's like amazing. So it's almost getting to the point where I can go from my house to work with no interventions, despite going through construction and widely varying situations. So this is why I'm very confident about full self-driving functionality being complete by the end of this year. It's because I'm literally driving it. In conclusion, I'd like to again say thanks for all the hard work of the Tesla team. Achieving our first full year of profitability in the company history was incredibly difficult, and just as a result of the hard work of a lot of people from Tesla worldwide. And yeah, just think about the next 12 to 18 months. We'll have 3 new factories in place. Things are looking great with Giga Berlin, and we'll have Cybertruck, Semi, Roadster, full self-driving. There's so much to be excited about. It's really hard to kind of fit into this call, but the sheer amount of hardcore engineering, especially on the autonomy and the manufacturing engineering front, is mind-blowing. And then of course there's Factory Day, which is coming up pretty soon, and I think that's really going to surprise people by just how much there is to see. So with that, thanks again for your support in our long-term mission, and we're looking forward to having a great journey with you to create amazing products and continue scaling it. And yeah, this is I think I've never been more optimistic or excited about the future of Tesla in the history of the company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think our CFO, Zachary Kirkhorn, has some remarks as well.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. I want to start by thanking our employees, customers, and suppliers for your support over the last quarter. In particular to the Tesla team, I couldn't be more impressed with the hard work and the resiliency that you all have shown. On net income, overall, as Elon mentioned, we achieved our 4th sequential quarter of profitability. This is despite a significant impact to our financials as a result of suspended operations of our U.S. factories and field operations around the world. To ensure the business remained healthy, we took temporary action to reduce costs, including expenses related to personnel and non-critical path projects. The direct cost impact of the temporary shutdown was largely offset by these cost savings actions, although the costs were concentrated in COGS, and the cost reductions were in both COGS and operating expenses. On automotive gross margin, excluding regulatory credits, this reduced sequentially from 20% to 18.7%. This sequential reduction is fully attributed to idle capacity charges and lower operational efficiency due to the various shutdowns. Despite these charges, we continue to make progress reducing our costs, particularly on Model Y in Fremont and Model 3 in Shanghai. Given the global macroeconomic context, we made the decision in Q2 to pass through savings to customers around the world on some of our products. With the release of stoplight and stop sign recognition and response, we recognized $48 million of deferred revenue in the period. The full profit impact on our P&L is less than half of this, due to cost associated with FSD computer retrofits in the field. Regulatory credit revenue increased sequentially to $428 million. While difficult to forecast precisely, our best estimate of 2020 credit revenue is roughly double that of 2019. Services and other margin improved yet again, marking the 5th sequential quarter of improvement. In the energy business, our Megapack product achieved its first quarterly profit. We remain production constrained in this business and are continuing to work towards building additional capacity. And our solar installation business was impacted by permit office closures, limiting installation volume. Stock-based comp increased from Q1 to Q2. This is driven almost entirely by an expense related to the next tranche of the CEO grant, as well as early vesting of the first tranche, which is reflected in SG&A within operating expenses. On cash flows, our cash balance increased to our highest level yet of $8.6 billion, which included free cash flows of over $400 million. This is a strong result on its own, despite an increase in capital expenses associated with Shanghai and Berlin, as well as movements in working capital. A few things to note on working capital, particularly accounts receivables. While our AR balance is usually about 20% of revenue, it can fluctuate depending upon a number of factors. First, overall less than 30% of our receivables is associated with new car sales. Second, due to payment terms associated with financing and enterprise customers, settlement timelines for certain methods of cash payments, and geographic mix of our deliveries, our cash balance and associated receivables are impacted significantly by how many cars are delivered in the final weeks and days of the quarter. Third, roughly 40% of the balance is attributed to payment terms on regulatory credit sales and statutory EV incentive programs, both of which have been increasing. Customer deposits reduced slightly as well. Note that as we transition to lower order fees across the world, the average deposit per order will continue to reduce, driving down this balance. As we look forward, Tesla was able to navigate through Q2 due to our agile and dynamic culture. We will continue to appropriately manage our cash flows through cost optimization and close working capital management. This is key as we remain focused on expanding production, scaling our operations, and preparing for the launch of 3 new factories over the next year and a half.
Thank you very much. Let's go to questions from institutional investors first. The question number 1 is, as Tesla continues its journey towards the long-term goal of selling 20 million units per year, what are the most important vehicle programs that will drive volume growth over the next 3 to 5 years beyond Model 3, Y, and the Cybertruck? Cheaper, smaller versions of 3 and Y, or region-specific vehicles, or anything else?
Well, I don't think we can comment on, our detailed product roadmap beyond what's announced, because I think we want to reserve that for product launches. But it would be reasonable to assume that we would make a compact vehicle of some kind, and probably a higher capacity passenger vehicle of some kind. These are likely things at some point. But I do think there's a long way to go with 3 and Y, and with Cybertruck and Semi, so it's a long way to go with those. I think we'll do the obvious things.
Okay. The second question from institutional is, what is your vision for software at Tesla? What opportunities do you see for monetizing the installed base other than via FSD?
And right now, by far, FSD is just overwhelmingly the most important thing. I think the upgrading of the fleet to full self-driving, essentially with an over-the-air software update, may go down as the biggest asset value increase in history as a step change. Maybe there's something bigger, but it certainly would be one of the biggest. I can't think of anything bigger. so overnight, a million, depending exactly on when it happens and when it's allowed in various regulatory jurisdictions, you'd have like, I don't know, at least a few million cars suddenly becoming 5 times more valuable or something like that. It's only 5 times higher utility. To go from like 12 hours a week of utility, something like that, or that's how many hours are used, to 60, something like that. So everything else is pretty small by comparison. Now, when things do become full self-driving, so what are people going to do in the car? Well, I guess they're probably going to do productivity and entertainment of some kind. Watch movies, play games, and do work. But that's in the future.
Or buy Tesla stock in the car.
We're already putting some games and stuff on the car just for fun.
Yeah, we have been experimenting on that. And so, FSD remains by far and away the biggest opportunity in the near term. But we're putting the plumbing in place to be ready to scale other areas when the time is right. So premium connectivity subscription is something that we've put in place. And the ability to upgrade your vehicle through the app, for example, on acceleration boost, or upgrading a standard range Model 3 to a standard Plus, adding rear heated seats. So these are things that we have, and we're continuing to get feedback from the field on other things that we can launch, and we'll trickle those in with time.
Yeah, but they're all very tiny compared with, the step change to full self-driving, depending upon how you calculate it, is probably worth at least $100,000 per car. So that's a lot of software you'd have to sell, in the App Store or whatever,
Thank you. The third question is also about autopilot. What are the most important upcoming self-driving milestones, and how do you think about timing?
Well, the actual major milestone that's happening right now is really a transition of the autonomy system, or the cars, like AI, if you will, from thinking about things in code like 2.5D. It's like it's basically taking like isolated pictures and doing image recognition on pictures that are partially correlated in time, but not very well, and transitioning to kind of a 4D where it's like which is video essentially. You're thinking about the world in 3 dimensions, and the 4th dimension being time. So that architectural change, which has been underway for some time, but has not really been rolled out to anyone in the production fleet, is what really matters for full self-driving. So what we've been doing thus far is really just been with like 2D, mostly 2D, and like I said, not well correlated in time. So it's just hard to convey just how much better a fully 4D system would work. It does work. It's capable of things that if you're just looking at things as individual pictures as opposed to video, like basically like you go from like individual pictures to surround video. This is fundamental. So the car will seem to have just like a giant improvement. I know, probably roll it out later this year. But we'll be able to do traffic lights, stop, turns, trucks, everything, pretty much. And then it will be a long march of nines, essentially. How many nines of reliability are okay? So it'll definitely be way better than human, but how much better than human does it need to be? So that's actually going to be the real work. There's just a massive amount of work with each kind of order of magnitude of reliability. But you'll see it happen, and if you plot the points on a curve, it'll be kind of obvious where it's headed. AI in general, I think, is something, I've been saying this, banging this AI drum for a decade. We should be concerned about where AI is going. The people I see being the most wrong about AI are the ones who are very smart, because they can't imagine that a computer could be way smarter than them. That's the flaw in their logic. They're just way dumber than they think they are.
Thank you.
Roasted.
And the next question from institutional investor is, please may you update us on Alien Dreadnought. How has your thinking evolved, and what is needed in order to get closer to fundamental physical limits?
Well, we're putting a massive amount of effort into manufacturing engineering, the machine that makes the machine. There's probably 1,000%, maybe 10,000% more engineering required for the factory than for the product itself. So we're certainly making progress. I mean, battery and powertrain factory, Gigafactory in Nevada is, I don't know, Alien Dreadnought version 0.5, something like that. Starting to approach version 1. We're getting way better at making cars. You can see that in Giga Shanghai. You'll see that even more with Berlin. And we're really changing the design of the car in order to make it more manufacturable. The fundamental architecture of Model Y will be different in Berlin. It may look the same, but the internals will be quite different and fundamentally more efficient architecturally than what we've done to date. Drew, would you like to add to
that? Yeah, I was going to expand on that thought. I think part of the Alien Dreadnought concept is not just automation, but minimizing the number of process steps and complexity involved in the manufacturing system, which involves really integrating design and manufacturing across from like when the raw materials enter the factory to the finished goods exit.
Yeah.
And we're learning so much through doing that.
Yeah, vertical integration is extremely important for this.
Yeah.
But the supply chain, if you put like a GPS tracker on a molecule from when it got mined to when it was in a usable product, it would look insane. Like it would be like, wow, it went around the world like 6 times. So with vertical integration, maybe you can only go around the world once. It's a huge improvement, or not even like only go half. I think if you get vertical integration alone, it could probably get you an order of magnitude improvement. So, yeah. Jerome, you want to?
Yeah, I think the focus for us is increasing the CapEx efficiency. This is something that we've been working very hard for the past 3 years. And you can see that we can build new factories for less amount of money and much faster.
Yeah.
Those things go together.
It's a better factory for less money in less time.
Yeah, less money means less time.
Yeah.
So that's a great advantage, and we're also reducing this, and it still is a lot, the amount of inefficiencies. We want every operation to add value to the vehicle. Value meaning moving the atoms closer to their final state. So we do not want any robot that just moves things.
Yes,
without adding
or a
parts.
person. In fact, it's like we want to be super respectful of people's labor. If we're asking somebody to do something, are we sure it's useful? Are we asking them to spend their time in a way that is respectful of their time? But it's like, wow, the potential for improvement is tremendous. And like, I just want to be clear. Here at Tesla, we love manufacturing. It's awesome. And I really think more smart people should be working on manufacturing.
And we want more people.
Yes,
we
exactly.
can't find enough people.
We do.
If people are interested in designing new lines and trying to do things different, Tesla's got a job for you. And now we've got jobs everywhere. It's not only in California.
Yep.
We've got jobs in China, in Berlin, in Austin, Texas, and in California. So there's plenty of exciting places, and all these places will do original work and challenging and meaningful work.
Absolutely. It's actually extremely exciting and fulfilling to design new production systems. And I think that, for some reason I kind of got a bad rap, especially in the U.S. for a long time. And I think people didn't think that they thought of manufacturing as like, oh, it's just some boring, just making copies or whatever. But actually, there's far more opportunity for innovation in manufacturing than in the product itself. Order of magnitude. Like if there's one thing that comes out of this call, it's like, hey, if you want to help us invent amazing new manufacturing techniques and have input into the product itself, it's not like you just get tossed the product and say, hey, make this product and it's a kind of a lousy design. If you're a manufacturer, you get to change the product design and say, hey, this product you're asking me to manufacture is dumb. And they're like, great, let's fix it. So at Tesla, if you work on manufacturing engineering, you don't just get force-fed a turd sandwich. You get to change the product design. So it's super exciting, and we evolved the lines even after they're built. This rapid evolution of the production system. So.
And there's nothing more rewarding than going from 0 cars an hour to 5,000 cars a week or 1,000 cars a day.
Yeah. So, like the long-term sustainable advantage of Tesla, I think, will be manufacturing. So.
Thank you very much. And the last question from institutional investor is, how many vehicles can Tesla produce in Texas?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, right now, 0. But long-term, a lot.
Wait, that's
our
it?
biggest property.
Yeah, it's the biggest property, true.
Okay, and now we can shift to retail investor questions on say.com. The first one is, Tesla Energy seems widely ignored by Wall Street despite Elon comments about growth rate exceeding automotive. Could Tesla share more detail on current or planned projects to help investors better understand the business outlook? How disruptive is Tesla's AutoBidder technology?
Yeah, well, I can't emphasize enough. I think long-term Tesla Energy will be of roughly the same size as Tesla Automotive. So, the energy business collectively is bigger than the automotive business. So you say how big is the energy sector? It's bigger than automotive. So, and in order to achieve a sustainable energy future, we have to have sustainable energy generation, which I think is going to be primarily solar, and followed by wind, and those are intermittent. So you need to have a lot of batteries to store the energy, because the wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine. So, so there's like 3 elements of the sustainable energy future: wind and solar, sustainable energy generation, battery storage, and electric transport. Those 3 things. And the mission of Tesla is to accelerate sustainable energy. So I can't emphasize enough the battery and solar will both be enormous, and they kind of have to be in order for us to have a sustainable future. And we've got a great product roadmap on that front as well. So we've been shipping the Megapack. It's very well received. Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
I think the Megapack has represented itself and is an integrated, rapidly deployable, grid-tied storage battery of megawatt hour scale. We're working with utilities large and small, not just utilities, but also just like microgrid and project developers of all type, and building our own projects where it makes sense. And there's a lot of demand for the product, and we're growing the production rates as fast as we can for that product. And then on AutoBidder is basically autopilot for grid-tied batteries. It's an autonomous energy market participation system that, does high-frequency trading and ensures...
That's a bad word.
Sorry.
High-frequency trading should be called front-running.
Sorry.
We're not doing that.
Not doing anything like that. No, it's ensuring that the battery is doing everything it can to manage the grid intermittency of the renewables and just grid intermittency of all kinds. I mean, people turn their lights on and off, power plants turn on and off, factories ramp up and down, and batteries are great to solve those problems.
Yeah, it does grid stabilization, at the millisecond level.
Exactly.
So it just ensures that things are super smooth. It's like a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply of enormous size. But just ensure that the grid has smooth sailing, and then the batteries, the computers all interact with each other and make sure that they're working together to make the grid smooth. And this can be done with the power walls and the mega packs and the power packs all working together and interacting with third-party systems as well.
Yeah, centrally or distributed. It does both.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's necessary in order to solve the sustainable energy problem. So.
Yeah, you can't plan power plants on the hourly scale in a renewable world. You need to optimize them on a minute-by-minute scale, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the real limitation on Tesla growth is cell production at an affordable price. That's the real limit. That's why we're going to talk about a lot more about this on Battery Day, because this is the fundamental scaling constraint, and any part of that supply chain or processing at the cell level will be the limiting factor. So, whatever it may be, anywhere from mining to refining, and there's many steps on the refining to, cathode and anode formation, cell formation. Whatever the choke point is, that will set the growth rate. And so, we expect to expand our business with Panasonic, with CATL, with LG, possibly with others, and then there's a lot more to say on that front on Battery Day.
Thank you. The second question.
Thank you for subscribing, guys.
Now that it's time to bring the Tesla Semi to volume production, can you share more detail on production plans? What weekly production rate is considered volume production, and when does Tesla expect to reach that rate?
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll start production next year, as we announced before. I'm personally very excited about the project. I can't wait. We do have a few trucks that keep driving around and that keep delivering cars, but we're going to accelerate that. I want to be clear that the first few units we will use ourselves, Tesla, to carry our own freight, probably mostly between Fremont and Reno, which is a fantastic test route. We want to prove that we have really good reliability. I mean, so far the early units do have it, but we'll do that at the larger scale. And we have also promised some early units to some long-term, very patient and supportive customers, and we'll do that. Now we have more cells coming up in next year, as Elon just pointed out, so we can increase the diversity of the portfolio. It didn't make sense up to now to do it, but we'll be ready, and that's maybe a little biased. I'm very excited about this, and we have a lot of very unique technology that we've always dreaming about that we will be putting into that Semi. It will be just awesome.
Yeah. And just there's like two general classes of cell. There's like iron phosphate and then the nickel-based. The nickel-based cells have higher energy density, so longer range. Obviously, those are needed for something like the Semi, where every unit of mass that you add in battery pack, you have to subtract in cargo. So it's very important to have a mass-efficient and long-range pack for batteries. However, what we're seeing with our passenger vehicles is that our powertrain efficiency and sort of tire efficiency, drag coefficient, like basically all of the things that, like, our HVAC, going to a heat pump. Basically, our total vehicle efficiency has gotten good enough with Model 3, for example, that we actually are comfortable having an iron phosphate battery pack in Model 3 in China, and that'll be in volume production later this year. So we think that getting a range that is in the high 200s, basically, but we think you probably get a range of almost 300 miles with an iron phosphate pack, taking into account a whole bunch of powertrain and other vehicle efficiencies. And that frees up a lot of capacity for things like the Tesla Semi and other projects that require higher energy density. So so you have like two supply chains that you can tap into, iron phosphate or nickel. We use very little cobalt in our system already, and that may trend to zero long. So it's really about nickel.
Thank you.
HVAC, please.
The next question is, Tesla recently decided not to produce standard range version of Model Y, no longer offers a standard range Model S or X, and has announced ramping of the Semi.
I didn't wear a mask.
Does this shift from smaller pack vehicles suggest that Tesla is not battery constrained as in the past? What are the biggest constraints now?
Well, I'd just like to emphasize, any mining companies out there, please mine more nickel. Okay. Wherever you are in the world, please mine more nickel, and don't wait for nickel to go back to some high point that you experienced some 5 years ago or whatever. Go for efficient, obviously environmentally friendly nickel mining at high volume. If Tesla will give you a giant contract for a long period of time if you mine nickel efficiently and in an environmentally sensitive way. So hopefully this message goes out to all mining companies. Please get nickel. With regard to passenger vehicles, I think the new normal for range is going to be, just in US EPA terms, approximately 300 miles. So I think people will really come to expect that as, some number close to 300 miles as normal. That's a standard expectation. Because you do need to take into account, like, is it very hot outside or very cold, or, are you driving up a tall mountain with a full load, and it's people don't want to have get to the destination with like 10 miles of range. They want some reasonable margin. So I think 300 is going to be or close to 300 is going to be the new normal. Call it 500 kilometers, basically, roughly.
Thank you. Next question on insurance. What is the holdup for Tesla insurance outside of California? Will you release numbers from that part of the business? Will Tesla insurance be required to participate in the Tesla ride-hailing network as a driver?
Sure.
Yeah, we were joking before the call that we get the quarterly insurance question that pops up on say.com here. We are working super hard on insurance. I'll go into a little bit more detail here than I have on the past. But currently we have a product in California, as I've described before. It's been quite well received, and I would largely describe it as a fairly standard insurance product with elements of it that are unique to our cars. So you can think of it as a version 1 of Tesla insurance.
Version 0.9 in the beginning, at least.
0.9. Yeah. What we're working on now is, we can call it version 2, or we can call it the first version of our telematics product.
Yeah.
And so really, ultimately, where we want to get to with Tesla Insurance is to be able to use the data that's captured in the car, in the driving profile of the person in the car, to be able to assess correlations and probabilities of crash, and be able then to assess a premium on a monthly basis for that customer. And what makes this very exciting for us is, the amount of data that is available with the customer's permission to use is not available in any other product or any other vehicle in the world. So this gives us a unique advantage in terms of information. And we have a decision point here where we could take the California product and replicate that into other states, or we could delay going into additional states and instead put more effort into the telematics side of this. And we chose the latter. And where we are now is nearly complete with the risk and cost analysis associated with the first version of the telematics product. We hope to be filing that in a handful of states with regulators very shortly. And assuming that regulatory approvals go smoothly, we hope to have this in a handful of states by the end of the year. And then we'll continue to file for approval in additional states. With regulatory approval there, we'll continue to roll this out nationwide as quickly as we can. And then that product, as we continue to collect more data and we iterate on it, there'll be version 2, version 3, et cetera, as we continue to refine that.
Yeah, I mean, at the heart of being competitive with insurance is what is the accuracy of your information? Like, are you dealing with, are you forced to assess people statistically looking in the rearview mirror, or can you assess people individually looking ahead with smart projections and inform the driver of how they may reduce their, what actions they can take to reduce their insurance? As Zach was alluding to, it's like, okay, you're driving too fast, you're doing this or that or the other thing. It's like, if you want to pay more for insurance, you can, but if you want to pay less, then please don't drive so crazy. Then people can make a choice. Like, okay, they want to drive aggressively. In the case, it'll be higher insurance, or they want to be more careful in they're driving, and it'll be pay less. It's also actually very helpful for us to have a feedback loop to see what is driving insurance expense. A lot of it is just, it's like, like a little fender bender, and then that fender bender, because of the way that the body collision repair is being done, cost like $15,000 or something crazy. And we're like, well, how? And then we can actually adjust the design of the car and adjust how the repair is done to actually have the fundamental cost of solving that problem be less. So this has helped us unearth a whole bunch of silly things that we were doing, basically, without realizing it. This is the problem in general with insurance. It's like, if the insurance is like all you can eat, then the feedback loop for improvement is weak. So this gives us a great feedback loop for improvement. It gives us basically a fundamentally better insurance product. I'd also like to say this in the spirit of recruiting, because if there's one thing I'd like to come out of this call, it's that a lot of great people want to join Tesla. That's the number one thing I'd like out of this call. And on the insurance front, I want to be clear, we're building a great, like a major insurance company. If you're interested in revolutionary insurance, please join Tesla. I would love to have some high energy actuaries, especially. I have great respect for the actuarial profession. Your guys are great at math. Please join Tesla, especially if you want to change things and you're annoyed by how slow the industry is. This is the place to be. We want revolutionary actuaries.
Okay, thank you very much. And
there was a second part of this question. Will Tesla Insurance be required to participate in the Tesla ride-hailing network? And so I think I've answered this before in prior calls, but by the time the ride-hailing network is available, Tesla Insurance coverage will be provided for folks who are in this network. Yeah. It's a different type of insurance because of the use of the car. It's not decided whether third-party insurance versus Tesla Insurance will be required. There might be some things we need to think through there. But Tesla Insurance at least will be working. Yeah. Working for the ride-hailing network.
Okay, thank you very much. And in the interest of time, let's go to the Q&A of analysts on the line.
Thank you. Our first question will come from Dan Levy with Credit Suisse. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you. I'll ask a question on the quarter and then just a question more broadly on strategy. Just on the quarter, if you could give us an update on gross margin. Was China accretive to gross margin in the second quarter? And give us an idea of how far off Model Y gross margin was versus Fremont Model 3. And then just more broadly on strategy, it seems like your approach to insourcing is varying by region. You're insourcing a lot more in Fremont, but you're relying a lot more on the supply chain in Shanghai. What do you expect your approach to be on insourcing when you eventually open up Berlin, and what your Texas factory is going to be? Thank you.
Yep. Sure. Just to start with the gross margin questions, we did see progress on gross margins in China, and that was despite pricing action that was taken. The factory is still not running at full capacity yet as it continues to ramp. So we think there's a continued opportunity to optimize the cost structure there. Model Y, as we mentioned last quarter, was profitable in its first quarter of production. And despite the inefficiencies that we had due to the shutdown, we did see a pretty substantial improvement in the Model Y margin. And as we said before, the Model Y cost structure and Model 3 cost structure will converge. They're not quite there. Model Y is still slightly more expensive than Model 3, and it's not yet at full production. And with Model Y carrying a slightly higher price point, you can kind of back into the math there on the relative gross margins.
Yeah, I mean, the Shanghai factory is a pretty big factory, but it's continuing to do more and more internally. But it's also the thing that's really helping is like there were previously a ton of parts that were made in other parts of the world that were being shipped to Shanghai from every part of the world, and just locally sourcing those components makes a massive difference to the cost of the vehicle. And the proportion of local sourcing has literally been rising at like 5 to 10% a month. From 40, it was like 40% at the beginning of this year or something like that. It'll be like 80%, by the end of this year, maybe more.
There is also a lot of very strong, very competent, and very eager suppliers around the factory in Shanghai.
Yeah, I'd say like the suppliers in China have been extremely competitive, possibly the most competitive in the world.
And so far, we're in negotiations with for Berlin, and we've awarded a lot of business. Also, a lot of suppliers in Germany or the rest of Europe that are eager to support the factory in Berlin. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Germany has a great automotive industry and supply chain. So, actually, a ton of our suppliers are in Germany, within like a few hundred kilometers of the factory.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question, please.
Our next question will come from Tony Sacconaghi with Bernstein. Please go ahead.
Stock split.
Yes, thank you. You mentioned in the slide deck a couple of times that you were pleased with gross margin, with PTI margin progress, and you expected to achieve industry-leading operating margins over time. Maybe you could shed a little light on that. Industry-leading for luxury vendors is 8 to 10% PTI. For Porsche, who's smaller, it's 17. For mass market vendors, it's 5 to 8. What do we think about, and how much ultimately do you believe that EV credits will contribute to that margin? Because I know your margin's been 5% over the last 12 months, but it's actually less than 1% excluding EV credits. So it's a 4-point contribution right now. How do we think about ultimately what industry-leading margins are, and how much of that you think is coming from EV credits, regulatory credits? And I have a follow-up, please.
Sure. I've mentioned this before in terms of regulatory credits. We manage the business, or said differently, we don't manage the business with the assumption that regulatory credits will contribute in a significant way to the future. I do expect regulatory credit revenue to double in 2020 relative to 2019, and it'll continue for some period of time, but eventually the stream of regulatory credits will reduce.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that buyers of our car in the U.S. receive 0 federal tax credit, whereas many of our competitors they get a $7,500 tax credit. and yet our sales have continued to do well. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what we see is a continued decline in the cost to produce, manufacture, and distribute our cars. That cost curve, even for mature products like the S and the X, continues to come down as we do work on that. Model 3, which is our second most mature product, that continues to come down. You then layer on top of that, as Elon was discussing earlier, the potential for software-based revenue, particularly full self-driving. There's the revenue recognition portion of that we have today. That will expand as we release more features, and then you can layer on top of that in the future revenue from a ride-hailing network. Operating expenses continue to come down and become more efficient as a percentage of revenue. There's still incredible opportunity there that we're working on, particularly on how customers interact with the company from sales and service, and what their flow is and how we get cars to them. So we continue to see efficiencies there. So in the medium term here, what our modeling shows is in the low teens operating margin level, and I think there continues to be opportunity to drive that up. So I hear your point on the 5% and the 1%. We're on a bit of a journey here, and we're continuing to make progress.
Thank you. And if I could just follow up, Elon, you've talked a lot about the mission of the company and really trying to drive EV adoption globally. So how do you think about that trade-off between driving towards industry-leading profitability, yet trying to make your cars more affordable and broader? It feels like historically you've always picked the path of, I'd rather drive more growth and more adoption, because ultimately that's the mission of the company, and we even saw it a little bit this quarter with price reductions. You could have probably kept price where it is, sold some units, and had better profits, but that's been an ongoing choice that Tesla as a company has made. So how do you personally think about that trade-off between, even if you were to get to industry-leading margins, wouldn't you be inclined to give more of that back to drive a greater adoption more quickly?
Well, I think we actually achieve both when you factor in autonomy. I think we can go way beyond industry margins and have the car be affordable to more and more people, and eventually, almost everyone when factoring in autonomy. But that is really a mega game changer, giga game changer. Yeah. But I mean, it is important for people to distinguish between two things. There's value for money that a product has, and then there's affordability. And even if you rail value for money and have value for money like infinite, if people do not have enough money in the bank account to buy the car, they simply cannot. So then you just have this awesome thing that nobody can buy. So it is important to make the car affordable. We will not succeed in our mission if we do not make the cars affordable. The thing that bugs me the most about where we are right now is that our cars are not affordable enough. We need to fix that.
He wants to make Tesla cars cheaper.
So we're all making progress in that regard. Just sort of steadily making progress. So yeah, we need to, not go bankrupt. Obviously, that's important because that will fail in our mission. But we're not trying to be super profitable either. Obviously, we're profitability is 1% or something. This 1 or 2%. It's not crazy. Last quarter was only 0.1%. So we want to be profitable. I think we want to be slightly profitable and maximize growth and make the cars as affordable as possible. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question.
Thanks for the subscribe, guys.
Our next question will come from Emmanuel Rossmore with Deutsche Bank. Please go ahead.
Deutsche.
Hi, good afternoon. Could you please characterize the current near-term demand environment for your vehicles? These are obviously unusual times, I think back in Q1 you had indicated record backlog, I guess at the beginning of this past quarter, but I haven't seen any specific comments about new orders or backlog in the release today. So can you give us some color?
Demand is not our problem. Definitely not. We do have some production supply chain challenges we're trying to solve right now. For example, the Model Y rear body casting, obviously because it's new technology, it's been tricky to maintain rate and keep growing the rate for Model Y casting, which is it's a two-piece casting with a bunch, and then there's about half a dozen other parts that are added on. That will transition to a one-piece casting. In fact, I'm super excited about this. We're going to have the world's biggest casting press is getting assembled right now, actually, in Fremont for the Model Y rear body casting. It's enormous and looks awesome. So it's like the things that are troubling us right now are not demand, that they are just a bunch of firefighting on supply chain and production issues.
Okay, so to put
it... Sorry. Yeah. Don't worry about demand. That's not the issue.
Okay. So when you're saying achieving 500,000 deliveries has become more difficult, was it really just a function of the recent shutdowns and some of these supply dynamics?
Yeah, it's not to do with demand. It's really just a production issue. It's pretty hard when you've got a global supply chain and it's kind of whatever the most effective part of that global supply chain is, that sets your rate. So I mean, the number of rabbits we've had to pull out of a hat for supply chain is insane. The team's done an amazing job. So I think also, some of our costs were related to having to, use a lot of airplanes to get parts around because of part shortages. So we'll hopefully use fewer airplanes. That will improve our costs. But it's demand exceeds supply right now. So that's where we are right now.
You can't build them fast enough.
Thank you very much. And the last question, please.
Our last question today will come from Felipe Houzois with Jefferies. Please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you. You mentioned a few times in terms of the constraint to growth is battery capacity still. And I was hoping you could clarify the scope of the Berlin plant you're building right now.
Good question.
Will there be battery capacity consistent with the amount of assembly volume you expect to come out of Berlin? And if not, will you be able to source your battery requirements out of Europe, or will you have to import batteries from outside Europe to ensure production in Berlin?
Good question.
Okay, well, we can't say too much about this, except that there will be local cell production, and that will serve the needs of the Berlin factory. But Drew, is anything that?
No, that's straightforward enough. I think just adding to what you said earlier about talent and people.
Yes.
Like the same goes in all areas of cell.
Yes.
Supply chain, manufacturing, materials, design. We are solving this problem, and we're treating it like any other problem that we have solved. We will solve this problem, and we want talented people to join us as we solve this problem.
Yes, and like, to my biggest concern for getting up talented people is probably Berlin, because the labor mobility in Europe is low. I would recommend changing this. Like if somebody wants to leave and join another company, sometimes they have to spend 6 months on garden leave. It's called garden, hang out in the garden basically. And like this is not a good use of people's time. I mean, if they want to hang out in the garden, that's fine, but they shouldn't have to.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, those who know Europe will know what I'm talking about.
Philip, do we have a follow-up question?
No, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for joining this call, and thank you for all your good questions, and we'll speak to you again in about 3 months.
Yeah, maybe sooner with battery. All right, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call.
All right, so we didn't learn too much from that call, except that Elon Musk is begging for nickel production increase. So right now, it's not lithium is the issue, it's nickel. Apparently, they need a lot of nickel. So nickel stock is something to look forward to. So if anyone has any good nickel stock that they think could blow up huge, all right, leave it in the comments of this video so I can take a look at it and maybe make a video on nickel. I was going to make a lithium stock, like the 3 best lithium stocks, since there's so much demand for lithium batteries right now, but nickel is interesting, and I have to see why they need so much nickel. We learned a little bit Tesla insurance. It's personalized insurance versus a blanket all the other insurance company. It could be a big thing in the future, but something that they brought to light today is auto bidder. Elon Musk says the electricity energy business is bigger than the automobile business, and that's not what a lot of people notice about. And I talked about this earlier in the stream, that the energy business, the auto bidder, could make Tesla more money than the vehicles themselves. If Tesla can monopolize the way they distribute electricity to consumers, and they can somehow make Tesla car batteries of vehicle to grid, that could make people who owns Tesla sell electricity to electricity company and make more money that way, or power their house with it. So I think in the future, maybe electricity auto bidder might be worth more than the vehicles that they sell. We also know that Elon Musk believes in Skynet would take over the world, and people are too stupid to realize that machine can be smarter than humans. And we learned that the new factory is going to be Giga, Texas, which is great because about a month ago, I planned to buy a house in Texas because I thought Tesla might show up in Texas. And if they do, that would make my house appreciate 5 to 10% automatically. And I closed on my house on July 6th, and I made a video on it and rented it out. I just got an applicant for someone that works from Facebook is going to be living there, which is interesting. And then that house, just based on this phone call that they announced Giga Texas, my house just went up 10% in value because it's only 10 to 15 minutes away from Texas factory, Austin. It's 10 minutes away from Apple campus, 10 minutes away from Dell and Samsung HQ, and maybe and Amazon is building more storage facility there. We'll see if Facebook moves there as well. So that's interesting. We didn't get much information than that. Overall, I thought most of the questions were stupid. They didn't ask about the HVAC that they talked about in Q1. Tesla has one of the best air filtration technology and instrument in the world. And if they can dominate the HVAC unit, have a Tesla as your roof, and have a Tesla for your air and Tesla for your car, you can be all, it's like an ecosystem. People don't realize that Tesla is like the next Apple, where, you have the Apple Watch, you have the Apple phone, you have the earbuds, you have the music, you have the TV Plus. People don't realize that Tesla could be like a whole ecosystem working together, and you're part of the Tesla brand. I don't think people realize Tesla can move that way. I would like to know about a stock split. A stock split would be good, because stock split, Elon Musk, the reason why he didn't make his company private at 420 is for regular investors like you and me to invest in the stock. He cares about that. And the thing is, the good thing about stock being this high is that it takes away day traders or short sellers. It makes it more costly for people to try short or bet against Tesla. So that's one thing, a high stock price is good. But that means it's so expensive, most people can't afford Tesla stock. So if they do a stock split, I think it'll be better for everyone, and it makes it easier for all these fund managers to buy more Tesla stocks, add into their portfolio. Though the value of a stock split doesn't change, but now that there's more shares in the market, more people will be open to sell it. Say, hey, I had 50 shares, now I have 500 shares. I might sell down a little bit and make it easier pill to swallow. We didn't hear anything about Battery Day. I would love to hear more about Battery Day. No questions about SpaceX, the parts from SpaceX, how it's integrated with Tesla automobiles. Like, so many dumb analysts there just think of short terms. Like, I want to know about your short term. How's your demand? How's your production constraint? I want to know about near terms, about the global economy, blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't have any vision for the future. And this is why there's so many dumb analysts out there that doesn't value Tesla correctly. So that being said, there was just so much missed opportunities. And remember when Elon Musk was a little bit crazier when he decided to bring a couple YouTubers to ask actually interesting questions? He's like, oh, please ask interesting question. Make the question interesting. So that's why he brought YouTubers to ask questions on these earning calls. And now that they didn't bring any on, you can see how stupid people are on it. So I don't understand why. But anyways, how many of you guys are brand new? Thank you for coming. And how many of you guys subscribe? Hope you enjoy. So our next stream is going to be looking at, we're going to look at, what's it called? We're going to look at Nikola. I believe the earnings, let me see when the earnings for Nikola is. We'll do earnings call on Nikola. It's sometime in August, early August. Might be August 3rd. No, it's not August 3rd. I put it somewhere on my phone. August 4th? Okay, Nikola is going to be August 4th. So I'll be doing live streaming. And then we got Workhorse on August 6th. So we get to hear the earnings on Workhorse production and as well as Nikola on the 4th. So those are two companies that we can look out. We will see where they're at in Nikola's production of their Badger, their facilities, as well as the future of how they think they're going to start be able to make their cars. That being said, so thank you guys who liked it. And I almost a 3-hour stream, so I talked so much during going through the analytics, so I appreciate if you guys do decide to subscribe, and my time was worth your time and you want to see future stuff. Appreciate the subscribe. If you guys have $1 or $2 to spare or $5, I appreciate if you guys do decide to use a super chat. If you go to your chat and there's a little dollar sign, you guys can send a couple dollars if you want to show some love. If you can afford it, I don't want to try to feel like I'm taking away all your life savings. It's just only if you have it to spare. So if you're interested, I made a video. My wife and I, we just posted a video of our new house in Texas, of why we purchased in Texas, why we think it's going to be good investment because of Tesla. You got Apple moving. Apple has a campus going there. You have Dell, Samsung, and more tech companies, and Amazon warehouses are more going to be in the Austin area. And now we know that Tesla is going to be there, and it's in downtown Austin. So you also have South by Southwest. You're interested in return on investment for a real estate investment. I'm hoping to buy my third house, get my third house again in Texas again. So it'll be help diversify my portfolio from stocks into real estate, and stocks is a good way, and you can help you guys there. If you're don't know how to buy a house or looking how to buy a house, you can check my financial advice where I actually talk about things to prepare you or get you there to buy your first house, how much money you need, and all these hidden stuff that you guys may not know. Because if you're renting your house, you're essentially paying for someone else's mortgage and you have no equity in it. So appreciate all brand new. What time is it for you guys right now, and what country you guys are from? I'm kind of interested. What time and country you guys from? I just posted a video on Workhorse. We got an update on Workhorse today. The USPS contract, they got the $6 to $8 billion. If you guys are interested in Blink versus Tesla, Blink is a third-party charging thing. Think about superchargers, but for any cars that's not Tesla. So you have Volkswagen, BMW, Toyota, Ford, Nikola, Workhorse, Hyliion, maybe Hyliion. No, probably not Hyliion. Nikola, Workhorse, all those, and then all these, and NIO, and all these other companies who needs to charge for long distance. That's a good competitor to the supercharger. If you're interested in space, Virgin Galactic, I made an update of Workhorse stock and Hyliion. Hyliion, we just got a new footage of truck drivers, actual real truck drivers driving Hyliion hybrid truck and the new ERX fully electric with the RNG gas substitute. So if you actually want to see real world demonstration where they're driving on an actual highway, you can check out my Hyliion video where they're truck drivers and talk about what the change feels like. And then you got the CEO Thomas Healy describing it. And Merle Ali, thank you for that $1 super chat donation. I appreciate you guys. So with that being said, I need a live stream. I am actually a full-time Facebook streamer, and I actually am legally required to stream right now on Facebook. So I have to do my job and stream on Facebook to bring home the bacon and to buy more houses. So if you're interested in video games, I am a professional video gamer. I play video games for a living. I've been doing it for the past 8 years. That's how I make my living. You can go to my Facebook stream, facebook.com/nukumdukum. And there, the notifications just went off for $1. All right, guys, I love your beautiful faces. I'll see you guys for Nicola earning and as well as a workhorse and just for regular video uploads. Thank you all of you guys who stayed to the end. Let me know how long you guys been watching in chat so I can see who's been a hardcore dedicated person to the stream. All right, guys, I love your beautiful faces. I'll see you next time.